Did you just point at me? You better take that point back or I'll bite that finger up.
You female.
You got a Glock on, you got AK-47 there.
Call of Duty style.
Welcome to Mek Sense with Melzy, where we make sense of the world that we live in through real culture conversations around relationships, money, dating, just to name a few. If you want to see more episodes, make sure you click that subscribe button because we want to build a community and we want your feedback. So don't forget to do that first before you continue watching the rest of this show. So on today's episode, I've got a very, very dashing young man next to me. His name is Marcus. He is an image consultant, a relationship coach, and an author. How are you, Marcus?
Melzy, I'm doing great. Thanks for having me.
Now, I know we met. Where did we even meet?
I think it was Noir 2022?
2022. Big up Noir. Big up Joel. Do all the sophisticated events.
Yeah.
You're that kind of guy that you're like kind of like suave, look at me suave, suave, look at me suave. So you're quite a suave guy, you carry yourself in a certain way. You've obviously gone into like image consultancy.
Yeah.
Was that kind of like a natural thing for you?
Yeah, it made sense for me personally. I've always looked my part and always done it for myself. A few people said, why don't you go into modeling? Why don't you do this? Why don't you do that? But it made sense because when I was hosting speed dating and doing a lot of speed dating and a lot of talks, a lot of people coming up to me asking for advice, how to create a profile, how to speak to ladies, etc. So I thought, someone asked me how much I charge. I said, I'm missing something out here. I got to start making money on this. So I did a little bit of a course into image consultancy. So I actually qualified as an image consultancy. That's actually a thing, yeah. Yeah.
Come through with your qualifications.
Listen, I don't talk about it much, but it is a thing. I'm qualified.
You better pop your shit.
Yeah, 100%. So off the back of that, created the image consultancy side and just helping individuals be their authentic self.
Okay, interesting. So another reason why I brought you here today, because we are going to be talking about dating, we're going to be talking about image consultants, we're going to be talking about confidence, because I'm a believer of being confident.
Yeah.
Like, I'm quite a confident person. I like to dress a certain way.
Yeah.
First impressions count, all of that
Facts.
about potato chips. But I feel like there's people that don't necessarily have that confidence. And we did actually speak to one of my friends, Leanne Jacobs. She's a confidence coach. So it's great to kind of get like a male's perspective on like how men feel confident in their source, essentially. I heard that men don't reach their peak until they get to 40.
Yeah, because for men, we're building. When we start off, let's say secondary school upwards, we have nothing as a man, as a young boy. So at that point, we're told to build a legacy, build a name. You need to stand for something. You need to have the finances. You have to have the looks. You have to have the body. All of that. So between that age and 30, 35 upwards, that's when some of us are reaching our peak from around 30 to about 40. That's when our money's coming in.
Okay.
Hairline may be receding, but let's not watch that part.
Let's not watch the hairline.
Turkey! Turkey, come on. Nah.
Would you actually do that?
Oh, 100%. I probably would one day if I decide to, but to be fair, I don't believe, like,
I could do bold.
I've been bold before. And the thing with me, I like to look good, but I'm not gonna pay that much money for that. It's a bit too vain in my personal opinion. I'd rather just go bold, and only because I got a beard, I'm allowed to do that. Do you know what I mean?
Bold and beard gang is the way forward. Okay. Proceed. Sorry.
No, but on a serious tip. So for me personally, it's just looking good and just doing my bit.
So if you could explain in a couple of words what an actual image consultant is, what's the top 5 things that you do to change someone's image?
Simple. The first step is having a consultation, sitting down and understanding what your issues are, what your challenges are. So some people, it's just not knowing what sort of colors to put together, what fits their skin tone. Some people, it's dressing for their appropriate body shape. Some people, it's where to shop within a budget, for example, or just where to shop full stop. So sit down, find out a little bit more about yourself, go through a list of questions, and then mark out a budget for you. And then we have the option to either I supply and find the outfits for you, or I could do a wardrobe styling where, based on what you currently have in your wardrobe, we can really go through a deep dive and see what needs to be thrown away. Yeah. I've done that for a few ladies as well as men. Okay. So I'm very brutal. I don't like certain things. But it's not about what I like.
What don't you like?
Do you know what? It's like some people like to hold things that you can't fit into anymore. Like, let it go.
No, Marcus. Okay, I'm going to quit you right there. Okay? Because we might get there. We might squeeze into that dress. That dress is goals. So why would we let go of goals?
It's goals, yes, you can work towards it, but there's some things that are old and like you ain't fitting into that. Let's be realistic. You have to be realistic. Ladies especially, some of you can be delusional. This is why men take the piss. So be realistic with what you're saying. Like, can you really get there? Yes, anything's possible, especially with God. Pray hard. But at the same time, be realistic.
But like, what about if you're not in the right shape and you're not in the ideal shape that you want to be in? Like, would you advise surgery? Would you advise gym?
Personally, surgery would be the last result. Some people, they feel like that's their only choice. And if that's your choice, that's perfectly fine. That's down to you and your personal preference. I would also recommend, first of all, as a previous personal trainer and a gym owner, I would always recommend that you start off by watching your diet, your eating habits. That the biggest thing with, for example, your abdominals. Yeah, a lot of people think, oh yeah, I need to go to the gym, do ab crunches. No, watch what you eat. Yeah. All the sugar, all the sweets, all the carbs, all of that affects everything before you get into the gym. So there's a process that you have to follow. Yes, you can go to surgery and have that done, but if you've still got the same bad habits, you're gonna need surgery again.
Yeah, but I just feel like there's so much pressure to like look a certain way, and you know, people will put up things on social media about get a BBL. I see BBL stuff pop up.
Yeah, daily, the good, the bad, it's all there,
and it's suffocating.
Yeah,
and I want the women to know you, okay? I'm not against surgery, okay? But we're not all supposed to have ass and titties. Like, I'm gonna be real. I got breastises, okay? But I got an endless back too. Now, if I had ass and boobs, I don't even know what kind of woman I would be. I don't know what kind of woman I would be. And I saw this other quote on Instagram, and it was basically saying that, like, the reason why God hasn't given you an ass because he's saving your ego. And I was like, raw, that's a bit deep. So I just kind of feel like I'm trying to do the gym thing, not only for myself, but also to prove to other girls that you don't have to go and to surgery to get the ideal body shape. Like, you're not supposed to have an ass. Accept it. Do you get what I'm saying to you? You can build it to a certain extent, genetics, DNA, but it ain't gonna be a kadunkadam. And you gotta accept.
Be okay with it.
You gotta be okay with that.
Everyone deserves love.
Everybody deserves love.
But it starts within.
It starts within. But also, also goes back to what we were saying in terms of, like, it's how you come across. It's the confidence. It's the clothes. It's how you're wearing that kind of stuff. Do you know what I mean? So I do think that's quite interesting. You mentioned that. So you do your image consultancy. That's going really well. You do the speed dating.
Yep.
Now, let's get to the speed dating. Oh, Lord. So I have a lot of female friends, a lot of male friends, and I speak to people from different cultures, like Asian, black, white, whoever. Yeah. Everybody is struggling with dating. Oh. What do you think changed in the dynamics with dating as to why people are struggling to meet the right person?
It's today's generation, full stop. What we see on social media and the expectations, the biggest killer of relationships, or dating, is unsaid expectations.
Okay.
A lot of people have this vision of what they want, but then they don't actually communicate or know how to effectively communicate what they want across. So when you start dating someone, you're like, oh yeah, I've got my prerequisites, I know what I want. But does that person know what you want? Have you actually understood if they're able to achieve that, if they're able to actually bring that together? I think when you take a step back and be like, okay, I understand that you're human and, you know, this is what I want, but you may not be able to achieve that. It allows you to kind of live and enjoy in the process. And a lot of people are too busy. I'm getting to 30. I need to get married. I'm dating for marriage. Yes, everyone should be dating for the next step. But at the same time, are you putting a expectation on something, a pressure on something that doesn't need to be there?
See, that's quite interesting, because then other people might look at it in a different way and be like, okay, if I don't necessarily set expectations, Steve Harvey says that it takes a real woman to change one man.
Yes.
So as much as a guy might go into a situation and be like, oh, I just want to have fun, play games. If you, what's the correct word? I wouldn't say manipulate, because that's not the right word. But if you get to know that person and they see you and they like what they see and they feel motivated, it's easy for... I feel like sometimes men don't know what they want until they see it.
Wrong. We
Really?
always know what we want. The thing is, we always know what we want, but ladies don't actually hear when a man says he don't want you. Because we will tell you in so many different ways that you're not the one for us, but you're not listening to that because of, and this is where men are wrong, their actions will show that they want you, because they'll be like, oh, all cuddly, affectionate, etc. So you're not listening to his words no more. You're just like, and before you know it, you're heartbroken. But men know what they want. Don't ever get that twisted.
So how do we look out for stuff like that then? We need to give some tips to the girls today to look out for the F-boys that don't necessarily, that want to break our hearts, that want to stop us in our tracks, that want to prevent us from being the princess that we need to be. Like, we need the advice, Marcus.
Don't let your boyfriend stop you from your husband, yeah?
Right. Like, what is it that men actually want? Like, what do y'all want, man?
To be fair, yeah, it's different for every man and every race and every person's personal experience. So there's no one recipe to success. What I will say is listen to what they say. No man wants to be tested, no woman wants to be tested, but at the same time, you need to have conversations, meaningful conversations. I thought a lot of the time, people just want to go out and have fun and live in that moment, but you're not actually dating with a purpose. Because in your head, you're like, oh, yeah, we're dating for this. And you'd ask the basics, oh, do you want kids? Do you want to get married? But what else do you really know about that person? What are their values? What are their principles? What are their non-negotiables?
So what questions are we asking? You give me 10 questions.
10 questions? 10. That's a lot of questions.
I don't care. We need to get this together. I want all of my female followers and my male followers to be in relationships and marriages and building and then things there. So let's go with... All right, I'll give you 5 questions then, yeah?
Cool.
5
questions.
5 vital questions you need to ask during the dating process.
Okay, in no specific order, within the dating process, I'll say one question you can definitely ask is, let's see off the top of my head. See, I haven't dated in a while.
The struggle is real for us all.
Well, I'm just too busy. So in my opinion, one of the questions I'll definitely say you need to ask is, in your previous relationships or the last relationship you had, what's the reason it ended? Yeah. That will allow you to know if they're one of those people that say, oh yeah, she was crazy, or he was this and this and that. If they're just putting all that blame on that one person and they're not taking any ownership in what their wrongdoing was,
accountability.
Red flag.
Red flag.
Red flag.
Do you remember that viral thing? Red flag. If I'm not buying no flowers, red flag.
Yeah,
do you remember? If I'm not taking for a date, red flag. if I'm red flag. That video there. Oh, classic. Okay, give me another one.
You need to also ask what their relationship is like with their parents.
Ooh.
I don't think enough people ask that.
I don't think I have asked it before, but it's not a regular pop-up. Now I'm thinking.
when you marry that person, you're marrying into their family. And a lot of us, from personal experience, that girl be looking like one hot angel, but the family could, be a long thing.
Is that like important then to like marry into a good family?
100%. Because if the family hasn't got the right upbringing or the right mutual culture or beliefs, it's always going to be a clash. So that it's different if we go into culture differences. That's a whole different ball game.
Yeah.
But just in regards to being equally yoked, if you're not equally yoked and the family is not in the same alignment, if they go to their parents for advice, but their parents, I don't know, let's give an example. Mom's bitter, she hates men, this and that. The advice she's going to give is going to be based on her previous experience or her hatred of men.
Right.
So that's why a lot of women, for example, have grown up with, I don't want to suffer like my mother did. You've all said that. I don't want to suffer like my mother did. But at the same time, because of that, you start moving different and not doing certain things that as a woman, you should be able to do. You should be able to nurture. You should be able to want to look after your man, your right man. Not saying do that to everyone, but you should be able to show your femininity. And today's generation, men don't allow women to be truly feminine.
Yeah. Oh. Okay, we're gonna get back to femininity. This is too much. This is too much to talk about. There's too much, Marcus. This is already too much. All right, give me a third question. Let's go.
Third question is, what's your dating style, or what's your attachment style? So there's
break down what an attachment style is.
Attachment style is basically how you attach or how you react to certain things. So when you're trying to get to know you, there's the avoidance style. So are you someone that I might be trying to love on you, but you're usually someone that tries to avoid any feelings, emotions, etc. So you kind of go the opposite way. You may be an anxious lover, for example. So anything around you kind of makes you uneasy, unsettling. So there's different attachment styles to that sense. So it's understanding that person will allow you to understand how the next couple of months of getting to know you, you're going to react to certain things based on how you feel on those things. So if you're an anxious person, and I say to you, for example, my communication styles, I want to have a conversation, and I say to you, I've got something to tell you. I'll tell you when I see you. If I'm an anxious person, that's going to play on my heart and my mind. I'm going to overthink because I'm always anxious. So when you're overthinking, already that person is building up a negative persona of what's coming next. So how someone deals with someone with an anxiety or someone with an anxious style is communicate. Okay, I've got something to call you, speak to you about. I want to speak to you face to face, but just to let you know, it's nothing to worry about. That simple thing, kind of like, okay, cool. So it allows me to know that, okay, it's not that big of a deal.
What's a good attachment there? What's one of the most positive ones out of the bunch that we should strive for?
Honestly, it's just different it's different for everyone. And this is why they say there's someone for everyone, because what someone can, like an anxious style for someone could be like work. For someone else, that could be like, oh, you're too much work. So just finding out and understanding who you are will allow you to understand the sort of person you need to be with.
Okay, I'm trying to figure out what my attachment style would be.
Do the test online.
I'm going to do that. Perfect. Okay. Question number 4.
Question number 4.
What's your shoe size?
No. Do you know a question? Question that we don't ask, which this is a bit further on. What's your blood type?
What?
Yeah. What's your blood type?
Why am I asking a man what's his blood type?
Why are you going to have a kid with someone that you don't know the blood type and what problems you may have down the line with the child?
What? Marcus, is that doing a bit much though?
I said this is a question for further down the line.
So we're talking like 3 months, 6 months?
You can't put a timeline on that. It's how serious you are at that point in time.
Okay.
So if you feel like you guys are on a serious path and it's like getting proper serious, it's interesting to know that it may not be a deal breaker, but it will allow you to know if, like, for example, there's sickle cell carrier or any family issues, health issues. Because if you're going to be with this person forever, you're going to have picnic together.
You got to consider
that you may be signing up for a long, stressful life. Like,
that's sad though.
It's sad, but it's reality. We don't ask those questions, and
that's a deep question.
It is a deep question, and I guarantee you, a lot of us don't know.
If someone called me and was like, "Oh, what's your blood type?" I'd be like, "Jamaican blood, me have." Jamaican St. Anne's, Catherine, Kingston, where is it? Like,
Oh man.
okay, cool. So that's question 4. What's your blood type? That's random. That threw me off.
Yeah, that's the whole point.
But I suppose you are right in the sense where, like, if you are having kids with someone,
Yeah.
you are going to be building a family and mixing and blending bloods. You do need to look at health issues.
Yeah.
So I do get that. Okay, 5. I feel like I need 10 from you, right?
Nah, I'm gonna give you 5 for today. I actually have dating cards, 50 dating cards for mutually beneficial that I wrote personally.
You should have brought some.
Yeah, to be fair, I forgot to bring it.
Oh, no, we could have played some games.
Yeah, nah, to be fair, I did forget. But yeah, okay, so another one I will say is, what do you love most about me? Because that allows you to see how that person communicates what they like about you, or if they've even noticed things about you. So for example, if the person says, oh yeah, me love your breast,
Okay.
you know, this person either is not serious or just does not know how to articulate himself effectively. If it's someone that says, oh, do you know what? I've noticed that you've got beautiful smile or beautiful eyes. Yes, he may be gaslighting you. Let's not get that twisted. Be very, very discerning about that. But at the same time, it may show that he likes actual beauty around you and sees something past your physical.
Wow. Okay. Okay. So 5 questions were
Ask about your I've forgotten.
Ask about your blood type.
Yeah, blood type. Ask about what your attraction is towards me. Ask about relationship with family. Ask about what else was the one? I've got so many in my head. They're all swirling. Different
Relationship
attraction.
with family, different attachment style.
Yeah, attachment style. Yeah.
And what was the last one? I think you maybe need to give me one more.
She's just trying to draw it out of me now, isn't she? Okay, last one
these guys.
is what's one thing you took away from your parents? So what's one thing you learned from your parents that allows you to know, one, how they actually grew up, what they're familiar with, but if they actually learned anything from their parents, and if it's a positive thing or if it's a negative thing.
Interesting. Wow. I'm like, ew. I'm getting a try this question.
Buy the game cards, 50 game cards, loads of questions.
Guys.
Mutually beneficial talks.
Go get that. Go get that. So, how do we sift out the frogs to get to the king?
Okay, so
What does that look like?
I've had a lot of conversations about this recently, and one thing I'll say, it's very, very, very difficult because good people, genuine people are saying the right thing, but the F-boys are saying exactly the same thing. So you don't know, and you can never really tell. You just have to give it time, because the thing with time is time reveals all. Yeah. So someone can only be consistent with that fakery for a period of time. Don't get me wrong, some people can hold it out for a year, 2 years, whatever it is.
Yeah.
They're just different types of demons. But reality is, within 6 months, the honeymoon stage, you start to see if they're consistent with certain things or how they move, their patterns. So analyzing a man when you first start speaking to him, what does he do? Does he call you all the time? Is there certain times he doesn't call you? Is you just trying to understand what sort of patterns and what he's comfortable with. If it's a case that he only calls you when he's outside of the household, for example, what's the reason behind that? He may have past traumas that, you know, he may not like talking around people in the household. That could be valuable. Or it could be a case that he just doesn't want to have conversations in the household because there is somebody else there.
So, talking about the dating game, guys will obviously be attracted by a girl physically. They'll be like, oh, she looks nice. He looks nice, cool. They'll take your number. 1 week will pass. No message, no phone call. 2 weeks will pass. No message, no phone call. 3 weeks will pass. No message, no phone call. At what point do we need to block these people?
I don't think it's a case that, one, you need to block that individual. You just need to go on about your life and not take it personal. Because in life is life in. So one or two things. The person could have taken your number and bottled it. They either lost your number or they had...
Whoa.
Depends how you gave your number.
Whoa. Most people give their numbers
On the phone.
on the phone.
Okay.
So that's not a valid excuse. Can we
Guys, I was trying for you.
Let's try another one.
All right, so no, on a serious level, it could be one of two things. It could be the fact that the individual is just not confident enough or not in a prime position to actually engage with you and try and date you. It could just literally just come down to those two things. Or they're just not interested.
But then if they're not confident or they're not got capacity to date you, why are you approaching me in the first place?
Some people do it just to know they still got it.
What?
Some people do it just to know they still got it. Have you ever seen them girls? Yeah, I've heard stories. Girls that have been married for a long time and then they go out with their girls and, you know, a guy moves to them and they're like, oh, yeah, I'll give you my number. They have zero interest with that guy. They're happily in their relationship or marriage, but it's nice. Oh, yeah, you know, I still look good.
Yeah, but isn't that cheating?
It's not cheating, but it's deceitful.
Okay.
The definition of cheating is
Physical contact
in a sense.
Okay.
It's a form of cheating. It depends on what your
Ideas
definition
of
is.
cheating.
Yeah, it's not necessarily cheating in the sense of, you know, you've gone out there and blah blah blah. But at the same time, it's a case of you've done something wrongful against your relationship and whatever values you have in that.
But then my thing is like, why take my number? Because then my thing is it's like, I'd rather take a guy's number and call you when I'm ready. But that's not very feminine.
Do you know what? I hear it, and that's such a salesperson thing to do.
Right.
Because
let me be in control.
if you want to make sure you secure that bag, you're going to take that person's details.
Right. Because then sometimes then they'll call you 3 months later because they've seen you on the gram or da-da-da.
You're looking nice.
So hi. So what's sorry, do I know you? Oh, you met me. I can't remember how long ago was that. What? Do you get what I mean?
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
spin the block. Where? What do you think this is? Like, you had your chance, you lost it. And my thing is probably like one of the main things I look for in a man is integrity and intention. So if you're taking my number and you're not calling me, you're not being intentional from start.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter what your situation is, whether it's like a financial situation, we can go for a walk at the park. Do you know what I mean? You can go to Aldi and get me some flowers.
I hear you saying that.
And I think, oh, that is such a sweet thought. You can go and spend £10 on flowers and Ferrero Rochers. And I will be like, that is so sweet. Now I know everybody's standards are different. Because obviously there's certain girls that'll be like, we need Hakkasan, we need Nobu, we need designer bags. But I'm from a realistic generation. That's what I'm going to say.
Yeah.
I'm from a realistic generation. Do you get what I mean? Like, I'm not expecting a man to come into my life and pay all of my bills.
Yeah.
Until we're living together or fully in a relationship or fully committed, I'm not really, I don't have that expectation.
Let me ask you a question.
Oh, here we go.
So you mentioned something just there about when you're living together, the guy paying most of the bills or all the bills. If you're earning more than the guy, do you still expect him to pay all of the bills?
Hopefully I won't be.
But if
That's
you
not
are,
my intention. My intention is not to earn.
women are earning more these days. If you were, answer the question for the crowd.
Like, don't get me wrong, like, I've been in situations before where I've lived with someone before and, you know, I've got the food shopping and I've done bits and bobs. I do feel like that's my responsibility as a woman to make sure the food is in the house, da-da-da-da-da. I don't mind paying that. Like, for me personally, like, if I'm handling all of my bills and I'm managing everything, right, on my own, if I'm going to welcome somebody into my space, you need to take off some of the burdens. Otherwise, I can't sit in my feminine energy. So if I'm having to go out and graft because you might not necessarily be there yet, I'm going to be standing in my masculine energy.
Yeah.
And if I'm earning more money and I'm paying more bills, I need dinner on the table 5 days a week. I need a cup of tea in the morning. I need scrambled eggs and turkey bacon and avocado for my gains.
What, in an apron while he's... But
all of that, whipping that up in an apron, babes. That's out. In an apron. We love that shit. If a man wants me to sit in my feminine energy, he needs to be coming with the masculine energy. And I feel like that's what the difficulty can be sometimes.
Yeah.
Now, I understand it's hard for guys, especially for the brothers. Like, it's hard for the brothers to even get into the right employment. I get the whole systematic racism and, you know, how they've broken down the black family household. Like, and I understand that. So I'm happy to work with someone to get where he needs to get.
Yeah.
But you got to come with a
Yeah.
plan.
Facts.
I've asked the guy before, like, what's your 5-year plan? A man says to me, I don't know. You don't know. You don't have any ideas.
That's such a job interview question.
Yeah, but it's so important because if he's coming back to me and saying, oh, I don't have a plan, I'm flowing with life.
Yeah, he needs to have a vision as a
You
man.
need to have a vision as a man. Because if you've not got a vision as a man, how am I supposed to follow you or help you or nurture that?
Facts.
That's what I had to explain to him. And he was like, well, you know, some guys don't have a plan and, well, he shouldn't be dating. How about that? If you don't have a plan for your own life,
How can you lead?
how can you lead other people? If you're not capable of seeing your own potential, how am I going to see it, bro?
True.
If you,
Leads into confidence.
whereas guys will be confident to put it down, laying it down.
Listen.
Confident to leg. Confidence, confidence, all of that. But you don't have a plan.
Yeah.
Even if, like, it's a case of, do you know what, man? I don't really have a set plans in stone.
But these are my goals.
But these are my goals. I want to have a family one day. I want to have a house. I want to have boom.
Yeah.
That will give me enough to say, okay, this is someone that's thought about their future.
True.
And then you've got the flip side where you've got certain guys that have thought about the business aspect and thought about the money, but they've not thought about how do we decipher between boyfriend material and marriage material? Oh. Good question, Melzy.
Good question. Like I always say, there's no fine line blueprint to say, yes, this person is, because someone can start with the purest intentions and along the line, they may get cold feet, their feelings may change or
What's this
fizzle out.
cold feet business? What's this cold feet business?
Listen, some people have issues that they haven't unpacked because, for example, they haven't gone through therapy.
Right.
And until, they always say, what you don't tackle in your singleness will be revealed in your togetherness.
Yes.
And that's the issue. A lot of us, when we're single, when people break up, women, they take their time to feel the emotion, feel the process, heal, better themselves. Men, we don't feel, we ignore. We just go out, have fun with a man, them, go to the nearest skirt. And not all men do this, but men need to spend time understanding, okay, I feel how I feel. It's okay to feel that. How do I level up? So for me now, I'm at a point where I'm listening to audiobooks. I'm investing my time in how to make my mind stronger. So emotionally, nothing can touch me or break me.
Right.
And that's what I feel like men need to do more of. And that allows us to be more ready for certain levels of commitment.
And conversation. And emotional intelligence. But I do feel like you're right in that sense because for girls, we'll take 6 months out, we'll cry. And then during these 6 months, we're not dating nobody. We're not even ready to have sex with anybody else in that 6 months when you spend with them because you're still kind of getting over it. Then we get to do the crying business and then we get strong. Then we get, Natty said it. Strong. Right, okay, goals, right. Goals, gonna go back to the gym, we're gonna get our confidence up because I think we make so much of an investment into relationships and into men. It's so easy for us to lose ourselves.
That's the problem. A lot of people, when they get into relationships, men and women do this, they stop doing what they were doing before they met. So if you have a hobby, keep that hobby.
Yeah.
Don't stop. Yes, we will still want to have quality time and you can make time for that person, but keep to what you were doing before, because the minute you stop doing that, you're no longer yourself. Right. So it's important to that. Another thing I want to say around the commitment, I feel like a lot of us view commitment as restriction. So we need to change our mindset and see commitment as an opportunity to invest in something that can grow further, instead of seeing it as a restriction. And men don't want to be restricted. So you have to have a conversation with that woman and allow that woman to say, okay, this is me. This is what I like to do. I like to go out with the lads. I like to do this. I'm not going to stop that, but I'm going to make sure I'm mindful how I spend time with you, how I am when I'm out, etc. Don't restrict me, but I will make time for you within what we're doing.
Yeah.
Because if I'm good as a man, we're good, and vice versa.
Right. And that's so important. And I do feel like, especially when you get into a relationship in your younger years, you
Lose
change.
yourself. Facts.
You change, like 20s to your 30s, and then in your 30s, whoa.
Yeah.
Whoa.
Shift.
The shift is real. Like, when you get to your 30s, that's when the lessons really come. That's when it's like back to school, GCSE, science, chemistry, biology, because you learn so much about yourself. But I find sometimes when you're in a relationship with the wrong person, you don't even get to fulfill the purpose that you're set here to do. Do you feel like it's best to get into a relationship in your 20s or in your 30s? What's your opinion on that?
Listen, I've given this advice to too many people, and at the moment I'm giving advice to someone in their early 20s. I've been giving advice to her for now a couple of years, and she wasn't at a point to understand what I was saying until she went through it. In your 20s, you are gonna go through a lot. You're learning a lot. You think you know yourself, especially today's generation. Oh yeah, I'm 23, I'm 24, I'm 25. I know myself. No, you do not.
No, you don't.
Like, listen, you do not. Like, our parents always said to us, yeah, learn from our experiences, but we still went out there and did the same damn mistakes. Sometimes you have to learn the hard way. Unfortunately, that's how people learn.
What's the quote? If you can't hear,
you feel it. Those who don't hear
must feel.
Listen,
we gave you the African and Jamaican version there, people.
Listen. Nah. So in your 20s, I always say, before the age of 25, you're just any relationship before 25 is pointless, in my personal opinion, because when you get to 25, especially women, this is when you're like, oh, do you know what? I'm a woman now. You feel like a woman. You're like, oh, you know what? I need to start planning for my future. I want to have kids before 30. I want to either have a career, all of this stuff. What your desires are, what you liked when you were younger than that, changes.
Changes big time.
But you're still trying to explore who you are. When you get to about 27, 28, you kind of start knowing, okay, I like this, I don't like this about certain things. And then you start like, okay, I'm going to focus on this. But the reality is, the people you meet along those lines can really shape how that development grows. When you get to your 30s now, oh, you ain't taking no shit.
You ain't taking nothing.
When I turned 30,
whoa,
bro, my life's changed.
Whoa.
My life changed. Like, before 30, I was just enjoying life. I was doing party. You saw me out all the time.
Me too, babe.
All
me
the
too.
time.
Me too.
Then I turned 30 and it was just tunnel vision. I got to grind. I got to build a legacy. I got family to look after. And when that happened, when you turn 30, like, I remember my friend turned 30 the month before me, and she was like to me, I was like, what's it like? She was like, oh, everything changed. I was like, okay. I turned 30. It's like I woke up that day like, oh, bro, what's going on? Like, the motivation.
The 30s is just a beautiful time. It's a beautiful period of time. I'm probably in the phase where, like, I'm really enjoying being in my 30s now. I know what I would accept and what I won't accept. The boundaries are there. I know what I'm doing. Like, everything just seems to be moving in the right direction that it needs to be moving in. And I've got some friends that are like in their 40s now, and they're like, yo, when you get to the late 30s,
I can't wait.
They're like, when you get to your late 30s, you don't give two F's about anybody's opinion. Nothing bothers you anymore. You don't have expectations for people. And as soon as you get to that stage, watch how things just start to come to you. And I'm like, raw.
I can't wait.
It's exciting.
Listen, like, with everything that I'm currently, because I'm at a stage in my life where I'm doing a lot of sacrificing. Listen, for long-term gain. And a space of 6 months to a year of hard focus. Bruv, a lot's happened.
Yeah, me too. High five, bro.
Listen,
we're getting in this year.
A lot's happened. By this time next year,
it's different. things are set different.
I don't want to talk too much.
Yeah. And I
You
think
just want to see, innit?
some of my biggest things for this year is like discipline and sacrifice. And those are the two main things that I've been focused on, discipline.
It's hard
and
because
sacrifice.
people will judge you for your sacrifices you make.
Of course.
Listen, but listen, God never gave them the vision he gave you. And when you have that vision and you hold it down, you're gone.
How can we help men to be more emotionally intelligent, self-aware, and seek advice?
First of all, yeah, men need to, everyone, not just men, yeah, we need to stop blaming our previous experiences, our previous trauma for the reason why we are where we are. We're grown adults now. Stop making excuses and start holding accountability. You are the reason you are in this current situation. So unless you change yourself, nothing around you is going to change. That's one thing I personally learned myself. Now, to answer your question, I think one or two things. Men need to have more conversations with themselves. Be real, be vulnerable.
What does that conversation look like?
Bro, how are you feeling? Like, how are you really feeling? Like, what's going on in your life? Whether it's family, emotions, friends, whatever it is, actually sitting down and saying, whether it's going out, like, whether you want to do it as a group of people. So before COVID, when I was living in London, we had a similar group. It was a Christian group, but it was single men, married men, divorced men, fathers, all of that. And we called it Coals, which was a fire burning within.
Oh, love that.
Yeah. And it was
fire keeps me higher. Fire.
She had to sing. Nah, but seriously, I think we need to have closer conversations with our friends. If I class you as a friend, why can't we? It's not just every day go out to the clubs, man.
No,
it's not every day we go out for a meal. Sometimes just have a chat, like, bro, what's going on? Like, is there something that you're going through that I can help you with, or I can give you advice on? Whether it's business, whether it's household, whether it's more, whatever it is, let's tap into the circle around us and help each other. The black community especially, we are gatekeepers because you don't want to help the person next to you because you're scared that they're going to be better than you. Stop that, because when you hold that blessing back and you stop helping someone, God is not going to help you. And that's the problem.
He's watching.
Now, the biggest reason why men don't talk emotions is because of you female.
Did you just point at me? You better take that point back or I'll bite that finger up.
You female.
You got a Glock on, you got AK-47 there.
Call of Duty style. The other reason is women like you.
Women like me?
Yes, women like you. Women in general.
Oh, yeah, rephrase that. Carl, you don't know me like that.
We're not taking anything personal this year.
Okay, we're not taking anything personal this year. Okay.
Nah, but women don't make it a safe place. Because a lot of times, I don't know the stats, I'm pretty sure we can find a research, but a lot of men will conversate with women, tell them some personal stuff, let their guard down, and later on down the line, when a woman's angry, she uses that against them.
I get that.
So now men don't like to open up because their vulnerabilities will be used against them. We live in a world where men are attacked and being told what a man should be by everyone in the world. So at some point, men just close up and just act hard and they have no emotions, but really and truly, we're soft. We want to be cuddled. We want to have our beard scratched. Do you know what I mean? It's not every day be tough.
Things.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
But I feel like for guys, once you guys are burnt once, that's it for you. But yeah, but then we're supposed to ride it out like a rodeo.
And this is the thing. It's not fair that, you know, men and women do this, because once you've been through a toxic relationship, for example, you will take that into your next relationship. People need to let down their barriers in the sense of, yes, acknowledge the issues and the trauma I've been through, but don't allow that to now impact how you're going to be with someone else, because every person is their own individual. And just because your ex did you this way doesn't necessarily mean I'm going to do you the same way. Yes, use your own knowledge and your own wits about you to see patterns and etc. Highlight that to that person and allow them and give them the space and opportunity to make changes to somewhat try and make you feel a bit safer about the situation.
And I do get that, but like dating is very ghetto at the moment. I don't know whether you've noticed or not.
Oh, yeah.
And a lot of guys are coming with the same stuff. It's not like there's one issue here. There's no, you are all coming with the same kind of issues.
Women too. You lot be playing the game harder, so let's not do that. You lot be playing the game
I don't
harder.
want to fight Marcus.
Listen, I'll win. I got a story for days.
I get that. I do get that. But then, like, where's the balance? Like, men will be like, we want a submissive woman. What does that even look like? What does submissive mean to you?
I'm glad you said to me, because submissive means a lot of different things to a lot of different people. Submission, for me, I'm a man's man, yeah. Anyone that knows me always in my personal life knows that I'm very much a leader. I do what I say I'm going to do. I lead by integrity in that sense.
Oh, you better come through with your integrity and intention marks.
No, on a serious level. So, like, for me, I lead. So it's not necessarily, being a leader doesn't mean that what I say goes. It means that as a man, yes, I'm going to show, we have discussion, for example, yeah. You say to me, you want to get married by XYZ. If I'm the man, it's my duty to say, okay, let's sit down. This is how we're going to do it. This is how we're going to achieve it. This is the plans. Yes, as my partner, as my neck that helps me swivel, your advice and your opinion comes into play, and I will take that on board. There's going to be times that you know more than I do and learning off each other, but being submissive in a sense is being able to know and when to choose your battles, knowing when, do you know what, you can have this one. But men also need to be submissive too.
How does a man be submissive?
By listening to your partner, allowing her to also feel like her opinion or voice matters.
Yeah.
A lot of men, no. Yes, you're the man, but being a smart man is knowing that, bruv, your woman can help you be that man.
Right.
The right woman can help you be that man. Listen, if you're not learning from each other, what are you doing?
I've been in a situation before where I know I was the right person for this person, and
no names. You know who you are.
And I don't even know why I'm saying this. I'm fully outing out all my business right now, but let's go.
Safe place.
But he's not comfortable with commitment. There's a bit of distance there, but he knows I can get him to that millionaire status. I can get him to be where he needs to be. I've already shown him improved, all of that kind of stuff. But it's scared to take that step. Like, so what advice do you give to guys that meet the right person, know it's the right person, but doesn't want to take the risk to make it happen?
Two things, right there, based on your situation, hypothetically speaking, previous situation, whatever it is, yeah. You need to make that man feel safe enough to want to commit, but also help him understand what his definition of commit is. So for a lot of people, committing is a restriction. So if he sees it as committing, being locked up and being stuck in one position for the rest of their life, that scares a lot of people, because anything can happen. So he needs to understand that when you commit with me, doesn't mean that you have to change or stop who you are. It just means that we're going to try and find ways to choose each other daily and navigate any situation that comes our way. We're choosing each other. You're my person, I'm your person.
I love that. I love that whole navigating situations, because that's what relationships are about. Like, it's two people coming together and navigating life together. It's not easy, but like you said, when you're looking for the right things, you will find it.
Yeah.
Do you believe there's love out there for everybody?
I think there is love out there for everybody if you allow love to enter you.
Ooh.
A lot of people want love, but they're not ready to receive love.
Ooh.
Because of traumas.
Yeah.
Like, some people are like, oh, no one loves me. All you men are. But at some point, you have to be willing to, do you know what? I love myself, and I know it's okay for someone to love me too. So if someone says I love you, doesn't mean that they're lying. You have to somewhat just kind of be able to receive that love.
And going back to like masculine and feminine energy, because we did briefly go in and out of that conversation, and obviously men do need to create space for women to be feminine.
Yeah.
How do we make this work? Like, how do we get more relationships, more marriages, more strong families? Because we see the effects of broken families. No, I don't care what anybody says. Like, I'm not saying go and get married, yeah, but even a committed relationship, do you get what I'm saying to you? Like, I work with children who come from broken families. Do you get what I'm saying to you? How do we be better people to put better people out into the world?
By having these conversations, ongoing conversations. It doesn't just stop here. It's you being that example that you want to be to someone else. So leading by example, you say what you say you need to do. So with a guy that you speak to, for example, allow him to feel safe. You create that. If it doesn't work out with you, he's going to take that somewhere else, and vice versa. So it's creating a safe place for people to feel that they can be more trusting, letting barriers down. And the number one thing is communication. I think a lot of us don't know how to communicate effectively. And with the lack of effective communication, leaves rooms for interpretations based on how we feel about something. So you make up your own assumption that the person never even said or meant. Like, dial it down, listen to understand. Don't listen to respond. And a lot of us, especially women, listen to respond.
I'm going to say, as a female, we are chatty patties. We're quick to go in and solve a problem. We go into problems. So I want to help. I want to nurture. I want to support. And even me, like, I've had to learn to like listen a lot more. Like it's training that I'm currently going through at the moment, where I was in I think we spoke about it earlier. Like I was in a coaching session and the woman was like, you was holding yourself back, like you wanted to. I was ready to tell her what she needed to do in the first 5 minutes. And what I realized from that is I struggle to actually listen when someone's coming to me with a problem. Because I'm like, come on, get to the point. Let's go. Okay, what's the problem? Okay, what do you want me to do? Okay, let's keep it moving. So it is something that we need to learn to do. Not necessarily listen to respond, but like I said, listen to understand. Because I feel like that's really, really important factor in any relationship.
Facts. And you know, I'll put my hands up, especially for me personally. I've done this several times, and I'll probably say I still do it. As a man, we listen to try and sometimes find a solution. Sometimes she just wants to chat to you. She just wants to let it off her chest. She knows you can't handle the situation. You probably have no say. You can't do anything about it, but she just wants to offload to you because you are a person. You are a safe place. And men sometimes were like, what do you want me to do about it? No. Just listen. Just listen.
And just not do anything else.
Sometimes just listen.
Little plate of food and rub the beard.
Yeah, I mean, how does that make you feel? Why are you feeling? Listen, why are you feeling that way? Why do you feel
like that way? What does that look like?
Women, ask your man how he feels on a daily basis or at least a weekly basis, because then it will break down his walls to feel like, oh, she actually cares about me, not just, oh, when are we next going out?
You are dropping some gems today. So quickly going back to confidence. Some guys don't have the confidence to go and talk to a girl. Are the ladies shooting their shot in 2024?
I think it's very, very attractive when a woman shoots her shot.
Really? Do you want me to slip you in a drink of brandy as well?
Listen.
Can I buy you a drink, sir?
Listen, personally, I'm a man that's very confident in who I am.
Right.
Do you know where I'm coming from? So for me, I'm not going to think, oh, why is she buying me a drink? What? I'll be like, rah. She got balls like that. I'll be like, okay, so I gotta match that energy. If you're messing with the right guy, he's gonna see that energy as big boss energy, and he's not intimidated by that because he's a big boss. So he's gonna match that energy. Okay. It's only the wrong guy that's gonna feel intimidated by your success, by who you are. A lot of women, black women especially, from what I know, they feel like they have to downplay their success or who they are. Because you're intimidating men. Yeah, man. You're intimidating boys.
Yeah, man. Okay.
You're intimidating boys. Real men don't get scared of that. They know that, okay, I may not have it like you have it per se, but I still have mine. Do you know where I'm coming from? I still stand in my thing. And if that's good enough for you, great. We're going to bounce. We're going to do it. If it's not, roll safe. This is good for someone else.
I actually shot my shot the other day.
Oh, yeah? Did you score? Did you score?
And I never do that. Never, ever in a million years would I ever,
How did you feel?
I felt like a bad bee. I was like...
Point proven.
Shot my shot. I got the digits. We're going to see what on. Do you feel like social media's played a part in the communication?
Listen, one thing... When you date someone and you're on social media, because you interact with social media on a daily basis, I can interact with your post and it gives you the illusion that I know you better than I really do.
Right.
Because we see each other on social media every day, and we're not having several different conversations. It's like, oh yeah, I spoke to you the other day. No, you texted me on social media, you liked my thing, you commented on that, we had a conversation about a post, but we haven't actually spoke on the phone and, you know, gone out to actually spend time. So it gives people a false illusion of a sense of we know each other. On top of that, social media has changed the game. Like, people are just doing all sorts of things now on social media. They're utilizing it as a dating app when it really shouldn't be that. People are being affected in their relationships because you liked a picture. It now means, you know, you like that person. No, it doesn't. It just means I like the picture. That's what Instagram's for. It's like Twitter. You tweet. Okay. Do you know what I mean? So you just have to kind of like navigate that whole scene itself, and people just need to let go of the drama.
Let go. Are we doing dating websites then? Hinge, Black Gentry, Bumble,
Listen.
plenty of fish. I don't know why I know all of them.
No comment. Now, as a speed date host personally, and seeing it in the real world and talking to different people about it, the online dating is not the one. Don't get me wrong, there are some success stories, but let's be real. 9 out of 10 people on dating apps are there to clout. For those that don't know what clout means, they're there to have fun. And personally, if you've ever caught me on a dating app, you know I'll go on. Like,
Really?
I wasn't there
So,
for
like,
love.
No one's there for love.
Bruv, I remember coming out of a relationship, I jumped straight on Hinge.
Are you serious?
Straight on Hinge. Not straight away. I gave it a couple of days.
So ladies,
I gave it a couple of days.
don't. Marcus, Mr. Speed Dating, relationship coach, is basically saying we should not go on dating apps.
Them man
And
ain't
we should
serious.
just sit in our house and wait for someone to come in and rob us to find a man.
Sit in your house. Yeah, I don't know what porn you've been watching, but you can't sit in your house and wait for a man to come in. You need to go out there.
Yeah, but okay. I'm going to talk about this quickly then. Where are the single guys? Let's talk about just Birmingham specifically. For my ladies, not for me, for my ladies, where are you finding single guys of integrity, intention?
Single, yeah.
Do you get what I mean? Like, looking for something serious. Where are you finding them?
Okay.
Because we're right off the club straight away.
Yeah, listen.
The club ain't happening.
Yeah, that first of all, I'm fair. I'll say fairly new. I've been here 3 years now, 3 years or so. So I'm not everywhere in Birmingham. But one thing I will say is you have to move in the right crowd, whether it's friendship, whether it's relationships. Now, I feel like a lot of us just go to the same sort of places. Sunday sessions. We love Sunday sessions, but you're there. You're gonna see the same people.
Same people.
Go to networking events. Go to things that are going to really get the caliber of person that you're actually trying to date. I feel like a lot of females or males just go to the same places. Now you have to switch it up.
Yeah.
You have to switch it up.
I do agree with that, because I saw something online where this girl was basically saying that it's not that you can't get a man, it's just that you're not in the right spaces to meet the right kind of person. They're not in your circumference, they're not in your space. So I do agree with that. You do have to kind of go to different things to find different people.
Yeah, go to a museum, go to an art exhibition, go to something different, do something different. Like, don't be in the same place all the time. Growth does not happen in your comfort zone. Step out. Step out.
Yeah.
It's the only way.
I love that. Marcus, it's been such a pleasure having you today on the podcast.
Thank you for having me.
I'm so thankful that you came. Can you tell the audience where they can find you, what services you're bringing to the table?
Yeah, so my main social media is MadeOffcl, so MadeOffcl. You've got the image consultancy side of things, which is Made Consultancy _ on Instagram. For those that want a beauty treatment, there is Coco Lux Boutique in Stoke, which has just opened up, so do check it out. It does hair, lashes, makeup, massage, facials, IV drips, the whole works all in one spot. So do check that out as well.
And of course you book.
Oh yeah, how could I forget my book?
How can you forget your book? We've been talking about your book
How could I forget
for the
my
whole
book?
podcast.
There's so much going on.
So much.
Yeah, that's also on my Made Consultancy _ page. It's called Fast Forward to Love, a guide to modern dating. That gives you a lot of insight on how to prepare for a date, the before, the after, the emotional side of things. Men do get it as well. It teaches you what sort of expectations, the questions to ask, the sort of mood to set, etc.
Thank you so much for joining me today on Mek Sense with Melzy. And today I think we've made a little bit of sense of dating. We might need to actually do a part two. Go and follow our Instagram, which is Mek Sense with Melzy. Or you can find me at MelzyJ. And of course, our YouTube. See you soon. Bye.